serious matters. Premier Daniel Andrews has alienated a lot of people. Nonetheless, he's been a victim of a serious accident yesterday, and of course, we wish him well. As I understand it, Mr Andrews was staying in holiday accommodation on the beautiful Mornington Peninsula when he slipped and fell on wet and slippery stairs. A CT scan has revealed several broken ribs and vertebrae damage, and there have been suggestions late today that he may need spinal surgery. Graham, what does this mean to Daniel Andrews and the leadership of Victoria?
Put forward.
Well, I'm told that he is going to need the surgery, and he'll be out of action for a couple of months, and that's quite a long time. But I don't think there's any way we're going to get around that. So James Merlino, the Deputy Premier, will step up a notch and take over for the next few months.
Yes, just on that bloke. So what do we know about this Justin Merlino?
He's all I know is that he's a pretty decent fella. I've met him a few times. I think he stands up. He's the leader of the right, if you like, in the state parliament, and they've got a lot of numbers. So he's certainly a powerful figure, and you don't get to that sort of position if you're a complete jerk. He's obviously got something going for him.
Well, Parliament sits next week in Victoria, March 16. Due to the seriousness of the injuries, as Graham said, Daniel Andrews will be away for weeks, perhaps months. This will have a significant impact. Mind you, Labor down there hold 55 of the 88 seats. There's not a problem with numbers, but the Police and Emergency Services Minister, Lisa Neville, is on medical leave due to complications associated with that very unpleasant Crohn's disease. Graham, as you just said, it'll take months for some time. Does he come back in all of this?
Oh, yes, he'll come back. By the way, just on what you've mentioned, that Crohn's disease is an awful infliction. I really wish Lisa Neville well.
But when you're in a political situation like this and you lose a person, it's virtually a one-man show in Victoria, it's a golden opportunity for the opposition. But is there an opposition in Victoria?
Not that I've heard of. If there is, they're keeping quiet. They've been very quiet for a while. There's a very talented young bloke, Tim Smith, who really ought to be the leader of the opposition, who can have a go, who can get up and really make some ground, hit a target.
Well, my understanding, Graham, is that the bloke will go O'Brien and they'll give it to the bloke who had it before. Matthew Guy, believe that.
How many times have you got to fail before somebody calls you a failure?